So we have the second of the women's quad semi-final. 2 quads from China at the direction of Steve Redgrave, joined by Norway, Poland and Belarus. Belarus closest to us with the incredible Ekaterina Karsten on board, going for, well, what would be 7th or 8th Olympics in Tokyo.
Well, she's pretty much the same age as me. She won in Sydney, didn't she?
First Olympics was 92.
Yeah, which was the same as me. So yeah, yep, quite a career.
So there we see the crews off the start, and the positions have evened themselves out, and the Polish quad are the crew in the lead. The Poles just missed out on the qualification by coming second to Ukraine in the heats. That's why they're in this repechage. But of course, a very experienced crew, silver medalist in this event last year at the World Championships behind the Netherlands. Great scull from the Chinese crew there. And the Chinese look to be in second place at the moment. Comparable speed. China 1 we're looking at there, that's Kui Xiaofeng in the stroke seat, and my understanding is Steve Redgrave has deliberately asked for 2 Chinese quads to race, and he's had a hand in their selection, not least of making sure that this young woman, who he sees echoes of Catherine Granger, he told me, the great British sculler, and he's put this woman in the stroke seat of this Chinese quad to be their taliswoman, I should say. And he is going to be smiling all over his face if that pace can be maintained. Kristina Starizlets in the Belarusian quad. The stroke really rate a little bit higher. The 22-year-old was at the under-23s last year, won the under-23 doubles event, so a real competitor, Greg, just trying to compete.
Well, there's real aggression, isn't there, in that Belarusian quad with Katerina Karsten in the 2 seat, but trying to back up the high stroke rate with the power. And they're keeping right in there with the Chinese crew, but as you say, the Chinese crew just have that little bit more length and power and smoothness, and that's starting to put pressure on the Polish crew up in first place.
Well, you've got the experience in the Chinese of Liu Yang, and the 24-year-old was in the final of the Worlds last year in the double scull. We're right in there with the Norwegians, not currently in a qualifying position. Madsen, Helseth, Sture and Kavlir in the stroke seat. Inga Kavlir, and the Chinese coming back on the poles. So we're talking about the experience in that boat of Liu Yang, the woman just behind the stroke goal, 24 years of age. And then in the bow, Zhang Liang was in the women's quad at last year's World Championship that finished 7th. So, you know, got beaten by the Poles, but you can see the step up, can't you, Greg, that's happening in Chinese women's sculling at the moment.
A massive step up, yeah. They just look so together and efficient, really, in the way that they're just squashing their legs down, just strong in their bodies, very connected, which for a quad sometimes it starts to look disconnected, but even in these conditions they're still staying on the boat, staying on the water and moving the boat through nicely.
So they have got the scalp of the Poles, and onward they go, this crew from China. That will be their first really significant win, I think, that we've seen this morning, and as a direct result of changes introduced by their new performance director, Steve Redgrave, the British Olympian who's gone out to work in China. Belarus trying to hang on to the tails of the Poles, but I don't think they've done enough. So China will take a win in this repechage. It's they that go through with Poland to the A final. Belarus miss out and go to the B final. Norway and the second Chinese quad will take the 4th and 5th places in this repechage. So there she is. Look, she's hurting, Kui Xiaofeng. I mean, Redgrave can see a touch of the Grangers in her, as we've already said. Just 23 years of age. And certainly she had the maturity to just hang in there, scull well, and then just put the hammer down where she needed to.
Yeah, I think maturity, we know we've got it in Katerina Karsten sitting in the 2-seat of that quad, but the Chinese quad raced with maturity, didn't they? Didn't panic through the middle of the race, and they just knew they just need to keep squeezing, keep working, keep efficient, and the results will come, and they did come in their last 500.
So if he offered you a job out there, Greg, would you go out there and coach?
It's a non-question anyway, because he hasn't offered it to me, but it'll be an interesting challenge that Steve Redgrave's taken on, to go out there to the People's Republic of China, see how much impact he